Oh, Nicolas Cage. What are we gonna do with you? The Croods. So the Croods is a story of this family of cavemen, and they've been, playing it safe for a lot of years. All their neighbors got squished and stuff, and so they've learned to survive by not going outside, not doing anything fun, not getting curious, all the boring stuff of life. So now there's a big continental shift with all the land masses, and their world's getting blown up. Then they meet this cave guy voiced by Ryan Reynolds, who's kind of like hacking the power of Juju, but he has the personality of Tramp from Lady and the Tramp. And he's really outgoing, and he's all, yeah, try whatever's new, see it, look at it, see how it works, And the Croods' daughter gets a crush on him, and they have their little love interest thing. But through certain cataclysmic events, they end up in what's really like Pandora meets Hyrule from The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and they're on a quest to find new land. So like I said in the intro of this movie, Nicolas Cage is in this movie. He voices the Croods' dad, and he is Nicolas Cage. There's no denying that. Throughout pretty much the whole movie, you're just thinking to yourself, yeah, that is definitely Nicolas Cage's voice. I mean, the guy used to be kind of a hero, but his career's kind of been a joke lately. And the Croods are really barbaric, and, they're like the most primitive cavemen ever. So when the Croods' dad is like freaking out and he's just going, and you hear Nicolas Cage there, it's some of the funniest stuff ever. That being said, I don't know if his voice fit the character that well, because he never really blends into the character. Like I said, you can tell it's Nicolas Cage the entire time, but it was still funny, so it worked for the movie. Now I gotta say, I don't know what I expected going into this movie, but as a whole, I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's an animated movie. We haven't seen that in a while since, Wreck-It Ralph. And it was also really funny. The writing in this movie was really good. I thought it was going to be really cheesy humor, but it's really good. DreamWorks has been proving themselves in the last couple of years. I mean, they've always had, good films. They've always been fine. But now they're really starting to step it up, especially now that Pixar is declining. I think they're going to take the place as best animators now. Now, all of the Croods are really funny in this movie. It's weird that all of them played a part in it, because usually you have some members of the family where they get left out and you don't really care about them, you forget about them. But in this movie, I thought all of them had relevant parts. They're not the deepest characters ever, but I think that they all got their own moments to shine, and I thought that overall the Crood family was really enjoyable, and they weren't annoying, so that was cool. Even when they are bickering back and forth, you still laugh about it. It's funny. And it actually had some good underlying messages too about, not holding on to the past. Some tactics that you learned before will not help you later in life, and you have to adapt to change in order to survive. That's really good, and I think that they really did a good job at conveying that message. Now, the score by Alan Silvestri in this movie was also really good. There's this one scene in particular. It's near the middle of the movie, and it's kind of like a montage. The music in that scene was incredible. I went home right after the movie, went on Spotify, I looked up the Croods soundtrack, and I started playing that song. It was awesome. Now, my biggest problem with the movie had to do with the pacing near the end of the movie. In the big climax, it's all big, a bunch of stuff's happening, there's some touching moments, and then, poof, it just kind of, disappears for a little bit, and then it picks up right again. It just felt kind of, like a disjointed type thing. So I thought The Croods was a really good movie. I highly recommend it. I'm going to give it an A-. So thanks for watching this review. If you guys like this video, you can subscribe to see more.